Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay. I know. I said 2. I always try to, if it's very important, which it is, I try to come in early, as it were. And I'll repeat this many times. It's in the description if you want to do it direct. But all the money raised today on my super chat is going to go for pizzas and food and stuff for all the healthcare workers at StonyBrook University Hospital. I got a discount code. You can either use KHWAR or my name, Bob Bull Omni. It'll work either way. 15%, which is better than nothing. I'll try to negotiate more when I buy, and I'm going to try to spread it out. Obviously, I don't want to deliver a whole bunch of food. I want like one whole 24-hour shift to be carved up big time, because we had record numbers of people die last night. Okay. And I'll be reading from some scripture, and we'll have a little prayer for them. But we lost a lot of people last night, a lot of talent. And they're all, the ones that I know, of course, are my age, and they probably have the same problem, which 90% of American males have the same problem. We're overweight, and some of us, like myself, have hypertension. And this, so this virus really attacks, and it looks like it's attacking Asians really hard and African Americans really hard. I don't know the stats on the Latinos, but and also white guys with, like I said, high blood pressure, and baby boomers. Baby boomers, this thing is like 20 to 50% fatal, people, and it's you just can't get it. It's gonna kill you. I mean, I talked to him. I had a doctor's appointment today for my cardiologist. He's like, don't go out except for like exercise your backyard, something like that. You can't get this. It'll kill you. So, yeah. We'll get into the specifics. Thank you very much, Barbara. Those people, I know those health workers at StonyBrook. They saved my life more than once. And I can't imagine. We're in a war zone. And this could be literally an LZ. And so, yes, there's less cases going to the hospital, but we're hitting peak death rates here in Suffolk County. Okay. And that's the number one trauma center on the island. From what I understand, they have the gymnasium. It's pandemonium. It's absolute pandemonium. And I have contacts into that hospital. So what I've arranged is at Domino's Pizza Place, it's in the description in StonyBrook, and their number's there if you want to do it direct, or you can contribute here. I'm going to basically span it out to try to get enough money together to do a 24-hour every shift, and I know that there's 5 shifts, okay, to try to cover them with appreciation. I mean, just consider these people soldiers. So no matter where you are, no matter where it is, please donate with everything you have. And if I have enough, I'll spread it out in days. But these people are going through a very, very, very hard time. You know, they're seeing death in the face. Death. So it's that bad. Okay, now there are videos out there. I call them fear porn. And sure, I'm sure the media is gussing it up to where that they're making it a lot worse than it has to be. They want the economy shut down worse than it has to be. I'm telling you right here with the highest illegal population, okay, we're losing people like left and right, okay? 700 people died last night, all right? And over 200 of them, 250 of them, or almost, yeah, who knows, were from here and St. Catharines and you know, I guess that they have, my friend tells me they have 5 tractor trailer trucks set up and they're just forklifting body bags into these trucks, refrigerator trucks. Every single person is a father, mother. Most of them are men. 63% of these guys are guys that are dying. And their grandparents and that's a grandfather that's not going to be here anymore to teach that wisdom. And there's health workers that died. A doctor that saved my life and a nurse that saved my life. They were on a SWAT team. They died. So this thing, I really believe it also depends, you know, additional risk is the viral load. Okay. The viral load. So thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Barbara. Thanks, Sandra. I mean, the viral load is, I think that's critical. No matter how young you are, if you get enough of a viral load, you could die. Okay. It all depends on how much of a virus you get, of a viral load. It gets into your lungs and starts causing that ketone response. And you drowned. Okay. You drowned. So I'm going to read this. This is important. For you will light my lamp. The Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. Now I know that the Lord saves his anointed. He will answer him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. In Jesus' name we pray for that. because a lot of souls, a lot of souls. Yeah. So it's very bad here. Now, in addition to that they do not cover on the news, there is looting and home invasions all over the South Shore and other areas. Okay. And one of the reasons why I look like crap, because I was up all night, because my dog is barking, because where they're going to come get stuff in the places that have money. Okay. These are people that were literally dumped here. If you dump a third world civilization who has a third world education, and you dump them into a first Western world society, and you ask them, yes, just assimilate, but vote for me. This is what they have. So they're just above, just below the poverty line, and they're just existing on the state welfare thing, but now that's been cut off. Okay. We're in one of the highest tax states. We're in one of the highest electrical places, energy, everything. Everything costs tremendous amount here in New York. Okay. Thank you, Carrie. It's expensive. Now, Long Island is a beautiful place. I've lived here all my life. I've been all over the country. Yes, Fontana is nice. Billings, Montana is nice and stuff like that. Would not want to live there in wintertime. Okay. Vermont is beautiful in summer and winter. Winter gets a little much. Okay. My house, I mean, I've had 4, 6, 8, 10 feet one night of snow where we would literally snowed in. My sons had to open up the back door of the and jump off the deck. We couldn't get out. Then they had to take the shovels around and shovels. My wife and I don't jump off the back deck. Okay. So if we have to do that, we have to continually shove on, the hour essentially. But we couldn't go up there if we wanted to now. So we're kind of stuck here. Anyway, so yes, so all the money raised today on this broadcast will be put to pizzas and calzones, vegetarian pizzas, because there's some vegetarians over there. I know this. But everybody, including the people who clean up all the mess, are going to be fed from this. Okay. And I'm going to try to, like I said, I want to feed them one day of, because I've had their, no. The if you really want to know, because I've been to a lot of hospitals here. I've been to St. Catherine's. The food, no. I've been to Good Sam. The one is St. Charles. St. Charles has got in Port Jefferson probably the best menu out of all the hospitals I've been to on Long Island. Okay, believe it or not, the other hospital has got a pretty good food service and is in the city, Mount Sinai. It's not bad. North Shore, no good. Okay, most hospitals, they just cook the stuff to oblivion, and there's like, it's dead, and it's dead. It's dead. Just saying. So, yeah. Okay, that's awesome. What's awesome? Laurie, what's awesome? If you went and tried to, if you a Patreon member, okay, so it's important to look and see because I do comms, okay, what I wear, what I have on, what I show, the differences, also the labels and what I use, what's going on. Very important. Because there's a plausible deniability of things I cannot say, right? So the bad guys are too lazy. They can't figure this out, to be honest with you. They just don't. But good people can figure it out, especially Christians can figure it out. And it takes, like New York Times puzzle stuff. But, you know, because there's steganography in it, there's a code within the code. And that's what people don't understand and don't get. Thanks, Madge Allen. Very good. And I'm gonna try to get more out of them. Okay. So the more I have here, I raise, the bigger discount I'm gonna get because the more days I'm gonna be able to I'm gonna try to provide enough for it's the regular price is $5.99 a pizza. Okay. So I'm gonna try to, get enough for the shifts. So I think 10 pizzas per shift with calzones and drinks and stuff. Um, yes, unfortunately, these people need Coke and they need Diet Coke. All right. Yes, I know it's really bad for you, but I'm telling you right now, I know what it's like to be like that. All right. And they need that caffeine boost big time. They need that sugar, whatever. So, because they're going through, and that sharpens them up, makes them smarter. Carbs give them a lot of energy so that they are able to make it through this time and they're able to think better. Okay. Do you notice this red? This is not because I'm sick. It's because I was out in the sun yesterday. It was very sunny here on Long Island. So I got a lot of sun. And I also got a sunburn. But it's okay. So my face has been sterilized. And I did a video on that, John Doe. I did a video on it. I did a video on all the magazine covers. And if you look at all the magazine covers and you go into the magazines, then you'll see what I've seen. Did a video on that. Please, I don't know which video it is. I've done so many videos. I'm very tired. Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize for I got to drink some coffee. Hold on a second. Oh. Whew. Need that. Anyway, so now on another thing, if you worked out the code, then you'll understand why I can't talk about it. Okay? Because this men maybe women in support, but I think mostly men. That's not being sexist, it's just a fact. Maybe they can we, women pilots in this, obviously. But anyway, that's going on right now. So it's been going on. Happy Passover to those at 7:25. You gotta. I know that you're supposed to go to your temple, but please don't. And I know that you're not supposed to use electronics or anything like that. You should just think of it as the real Passover. I mean, everybody was staying in their homes. The lamb's blood was on the door. He basically did what is going to be done. The firstborn, and so that's basically what's going to happen, right? So you have to consider that we are in a modern Passover with this virus. Now, I provided documental details on where this thing originated. Somebody said it's the SARS. It's just the SARS one. Yes, it's the SARS, MERS, HIV combined. Okay, this thing's been weaponized and souped up big time. All right, who did it? Believe it or not, started here. Okay, started here and then progressed. In 2015, it was taken by the Chinese. They have people here, that not all of them are, I would probably say 95% of them that are in universities are spies. Basically, if you're here and you're still a Chinese citizen, you're probably a spy. That's just the way it works. You're CCP, whatever. They went back to their place, and then they modified it and did work in Wuhan. Okay, smart people, no question about it. But then you have to say to yourself, what is with all these scientists? What is with them designing something this evil and this bad? How could you even do this? Now, this isn't like, you design a new way to, burn wood, a new energy, a new transmission of energy, a new something with, new anything, which can be used for good and bad. Okay. I do not see where this can be used for any good at all. I really don't. There's absolutely no good that could come from designing a virus that's got an R naught that's twice the R naught of any known viruses in the past. And that's a logarithmic scale. Okay. So this thing is extremely contagious, extremely deadly. If the president didn't act when he did, you would have seen a lot more people dead across the country. All right. A lot more people. So, and that gets back into this mentality. Like I said, probably started where here's a scientist and says, I'm going to do this so I can write a paper on it and get published and get in Nature and la 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 and accolades, and I'm able to go, pink lint off sweaters. But there's also another mentality like Oppenheimer had. Oh, that's right. It's Lori M's birthday today. Lori M, happy birthday. I forgot all about it. No, I didn't. Yeah, you'll probably get the second part of that gift. Probably comes with who knows. Right now, when you order something, it's like we don't know. Anyway, so yeah, Lori just turned 22 years old. So um, yeah, so I mean, I said this to you before. I'll say it again. When Oppenheimer was there, okay, in the Trinity, the whole, you know, the widget, as it were. These noted physicists from Chicago, okay, Fermi's team, real Chicago, they knew their stuff. They got one variable wrong in the equation. Okay. So the math was actually incorrect, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that Oppenheimer thought that their math was correct. And what the math said was that you have a 1 in 1,000 chance of destroying the entire planet if you set this device off. Okay. 1 in 1,000. And he still pushed the freaking button. And he believed it. This is the insane mentality that these guys get. You know, all scientists should have a mandatory reading of Shelley, which is Frankenstein, because they need to be put in their place and realize that, the position of God has already been taken. So there it is. Now, I want to see this dollar sign. I want to see it go up, people. We're raising this for these people. You can consider them on the front lines and in battle, and they are seeing death like you can't believe. So I want to see some moolah. Every single penny is going to go towards pizza and calzones, food. Some healthy, most not, but it doesn't matter. They need all the comfort from they could get. Okay, there's times to eat correctly, and there's times to just deal with this, and they're dealing with hell over there. Okay. So, yes, good faith. And if I know anybody, good faith has probably figured out. Good faith, did you figure out all this stuff that I've been posting? I mean, nobody even noticed whatever. But I had to even put a thing together. Man on the phone arguing? No, I called him. I got the approval. You can get the number in my description. Okay, so well, I'm working on one hospital where I know that they had an incredible amount of death there last night or in the last 24 hours, to where that it's psychologically taking a fantastically horrible toll on these people. They're openly praying. It's up to us as also fellow brothers and sisters to receive the call and do something about it. Okay? They need help. And the only way I can help them, I can't go anywhere, is to buy them food. Period. And they'll appreciate it, believe me. I've done it in the past when I was there. And they loved it. Okay? They can, worry about the diet on another day. Believe me, that's not what they're worried about. Thanks, Rick. Come on, let's all go with Rick. Let's try to beat him. Let's try to top him. Let's try to this. We're raising this for those people You could consider them warriors trying to save people's lives. Okay. Whether you have the disease where you are, I'm telling you, it's here and it's killing people. And it's taking a tremendously bad toll on these health workers. They're exhausted beyond belief. Okay. They're pulling kids, and that's a teaching hospital. So most of the medical students, they've just put the thing on them and sent them into the, it's like strapping yeah. So we need to raise money. We need to raise money. Okay. So the more we raise, the better discount I'm going to get, the more food I'm going to be able to give them and provide them over a series of days. I'd like to be able to do that. All right. So we need to raise more. Share this feed, share it right now on all your media. Okay. Don't worry about 107. Don't worry about anything. Okay. Got to take care of these people like right now. Right now, they need our help as much as possible. Okay. I'm telling you right now, if you were you would not believe the suffering that's going on over there. And these people have reached the end of their rope. Okay, so everybody's, oh, well, it's turning. Yeah, they had record numbers of deaf people. Okay, so if you're praying hard, that's great. But I'm telling you right now, this is prayers that will get people to recognize what's going on. Okay, I'm not doing this for my own accolades. I'm doing this to help people. And Lorianne will tell you, I help people. I mean what I say, and I do what I say. So I want to see more money here. Thanks, Rick. Leonor Lopez, thank you very much. Okay, and this is also going to, you never know, but their prayers are going to be answered by eating that piece of pizza. You don't realize what that is going to do to a person. Okay, how good it makes them feel that they appreciate it. Believe me, I've been in straits like that, and when you're appreciated, it goes over like $1 million. The best thing you ever had. Okay, and these people are saving people's lives in record numbers, but they're also having to deal with being the last people to see these people. Yeah, well, those might be, Josie, don't believe those fake porn. I'm telling you what's happening here in New York, right here in this hospital. I wish I could go there. I wish I could go there. I'll try to. They have the police said I'll try to get one of my nurse friends to give me a feed, but there's all kinds of problems with that. She's going through a really, really, really bad time. I have to set her up with my my nephew. I met her at a dog park, and so she's young and fit, but psychologically in the mind, we're all flesh and blood, folks. There's only so much death that you can tolerate, you can feel. Well, The phone number is just a direct line if you want to buy a pizza direct. I'm going to try to put pizzas into the hopper that's going to cover them for a specific period of time. And the more money I raise here, the bigger discount I'm going to get. Okay? Just saying. You can do it any way you want. Just do it. But if you contribute here, it's going to go to that. 100% of this money is going to that. Thank you very much, Matt. Thank you very much, Debbie. Thank you very much, Deca Attack 88. Matt is incredible. Matt, do you have a question? Hello, Matt. I think, the chat feed on this is sooner, but the video feed is later. It's dude, I have the same problem with that stupid thing. Okay, I didn't write the software, so yeah, and it's just like everybody's stuck in this. It reminds me. I'll do something. Yes, there's arrests going on right now as we speak. Okay, right now. No, I said this. I said there's record numbers of lives being saved. These people are saving those lives. There's a record number of people that are leaving the hospital. We've plateaued and we're on the other side, but there was a record number of people who died. Okay, and it's just nice for these people to get this type of comfort food, okay, in this kind of time. All right, and I'm just trying to do my part. All right, so if you're leery, I provided the number. You call it up, you'll see it's a StonyBrook pizza place. But you're only going to get 15%. If you go with me, I might be able to get more. The more amount, he's going to give me a bigger break. Okay? He's a nice guy. And I'm going to give a smattering. Believe me. Do I know food? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I know what and how to order to make these people feel good. I'm not saying it's going to be good for them, okay? But right now, they don't need what's good for them. They need something that's going to make them feel good. All right? Just saying. Rick, thanks again. All right. So I forgot what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about something. I forgot. Matt S., do you have any questions? If you are a Patreon member, even if you're not, just look at my last before this, well, even today, there's a code today. What is the difference between my picture and this? Just saying. It's specific. Okay. It's also specific as far as everything. Everything matters. Okay. Shirts matter. So I am telling you what's going on, believe it or not. And I can't tell you what's going on, but I'm telling you what's going on. So you think about it, you'll get it. Yep, John Doe. If you are a Patreon member, or even like I said, if you look at my live feed or even the past videos that I've done, and you look at those, I posted this on my Patreon page. But if you just look at those series, okay, and you see shirt colors, things, and the titles, comms, learn the comms. Wow, you're working. That's impressive. The only reason why I am doing this at this specific period of time is because I want to take in all the code that the president is giving on his speeches. And of course, the main media is not covered, but I don't care. If you email me, I reply to every email. So if you don't get my reply from my email, then you're not putting in my email address correctly. Okay. It has to be done exact. And if it's not done exact, you get thrown into my junk pile. All right. So only Patreon people get put into a database that stops you. I get anywhere between 2,000 to 4,000 emails a day. Probably on the outside, I don't know. Probably another 4,000, 5,000 that go into junk. Something like that. Don't put my email down. It'll screw them up. They have to go through Patreon, because then what happens is when they join Patreon, it comes there as a badge with their email address, whatever email address you put in Patreon. And then I put a thanks, and I put a boilerplate message. Sometimes I put my phone number, sometimes I don't. That all depends. And then I reply it. I send it from my email address. Okay. Thank you, Karen. Now, all right. So that is all part of my filtering system that I use, and I just have to do that from who I am, actually. So it's just the way it is. Well, again, Madge, didn't you? Somebody said that they weren't getting in the comment line. I forget who that was. So I have no control over that. If you can't get in the super chats that I'm seeing right now, that's YouTube. It's not me. Okay. Yeah, Debbie, I'm gonna put my listeners. Other than that, this guy, he's not from here. Okay, he's a nice guy, but he sounds like he's Pakistani or something. Okay, there's no way he's gonna take a list of names. Not gonna happen. I can't go there. I'm gonna call it in, and I'm gonna, the thing is, you have to understand. God knows. Okay, so, thank you, Star Tipper. I'm not matching this. I wish I could, but I can't. You know, we're in a real bad way here. We're just trying to pay. My wife's trying to pay her people, so it's all out of pocket, you know. So hopefully it'll be whatever it is, but you know, so get that. No, I really, believe it or not, regular Coke is better for them than Diet Coke, but I know that they don't think so. So I usually send them both, okay, and some orange soda and some other stuff, but mainly you know, it's what it is. But reality wise, aspartame's a really bad molecule, very bad. Um, Fructose corn syrup is not very good either, but it's better than aspartame. Okay. Thank you very much, people. And I still don't see any questions. All right. So now, I obviously can't, like, these people are like looking at my stuff that I put up and they're asking me to tell them if they're hot, cold, whatever. I can neither confirm or deny anything. That's all I can give you. Why? There's people's lives at stake here. That's number one. Number two, um, you give your word. Number three, you took an oath. So some other people might be saying whatever. Okay, and my channel would probably be at 100,000, 150,000 if I said what I knew, but I can't do that. There's things that are just greater than that. Okay, that's more important, way more important than that. So you just can't do that. Okay. And there's a lot of fear porn out there, like Lisa Haven, all these people showing these empty hospitals or this fake thing or whatever. This is all the deep state trying to make this seem like it's all good and two shoes and whatever. I could tell you this, okay? The Navy, Secretary of the Navy, the SN, okay, that threw that poor guy who was perfect under the bus, literally, all right, was fired. Okay. And this guy is coming up for review, this other guy. Now, did he do the right thing? No, absolutely not. Okay. And it's very bad to do that. Okay. It was a mistake. All right. Shouldn't have been done like this at all. Maybe changed command, in a different way. Okay. The president is going to have to do something about this, and he's already done something about this because it sets up a very bad morale for the Navy personnel. Means nobody's got their back. And the president's going to change that. But, it's got to come down the line. All right. Yeah, artificial, I it's bad. Okay. But I do know, believe it or not, some of those hospital workers, they're diabetic. So, believe me, I do send them some flavored club soda and things like this. I send some stuff over there. Okay. But most of them want the caffeine. They really do. They want that jolt. And I understand. They're dragging. This is extremely fatiguing. It's very stressful. You're very uncomfortable wearing all this stuff, and there's the stress of worrying about what's going on and what you're bringing home to your family. The cardiologist today has got kids. He's got to dress them in all kinds of garb. He's staying in his RV, so he doesn't go into his house with his kids. sees into windows. And, this is bad. This is very bad, people. Very, very bad. I mean, I don't know how bad it is. I know how bad it is here. Okay. People are dying here. Friends of mine have died here. Childhood friends. Okay. Friends of my wife have died, or their husbands have died. They're like me. Basically, you know. So, I've done this before. Last time I was there, I did it. They really appreciate it, especially 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But I'm sure during the daytime they appreciate it. Specifically, I get it for everybody, including the people cleaning up all that poop and waste and stuff. You have no idea that the stuff that they have to deal with every single day never closes, 24/7, every single day. So you're getting a zone of what it's like to be in someplace 24/7 and not get out if you're quarantined. And hopefully you guys are quarantined, because that has more to do with other things that are going on at the same time. We don't want any. Okay, so I'm going to tell one part of this. All right. We don't want a gatherings of anybody. All right. Because that gives the deep state a chance to do a false flag. All right. So you don't want that. Okay. It's like the snake, and you got him by the head, and he's trying to do everything he can. Okay. So the releasing of this disease was part of it. No question. That they want to take down this economy? Yes. That they wanted to do a lot of things, and they wanted to cause chaos and to clear their escape. No question about it. But there won't be any escape. Believe me, there's no escape. Okay? They will have justice. There is justice that's coming back, and you will see that justice. But it's going to take time. You'll see it, but you got to be patient. But you'll start to see it big time. Then everybody's asking about the internet and about, it's not worldwide. It's not citywide. Okay? It's going to be in specific things. I can't go into it. I can't do it. All right? Can't do it. Can't do it. But there's a lot more things that were smuggled besides drugs. Okay? And what do they call them? Okay? And why are they all fuming and why are they all trying to make this worse? Whatever. I told you it was going to be bad in these sanctuary cities specifically. Why? Because that's where they have the most power and they can do the most damage. The hospitals that were the most ill prepared were the public hospitals. Okay. They were taking, and the governor just basically said, okay, we're taking from all these these people who prepared and who had the supplies and had everything. Well, too bad. Got to go to this place. So they he's not going to do it. If you look at these documents that I posted on my Patreon page, they're circulating. And it's only a matter of time before OANN or somebody. There's a bunch of YouTubers that are doing reports on it. But it will come out and it'll come out by they want to see an investigation It's just like Passover. They're naming their own death. Isn't that funny? But they're naming their own death. Yeah, you got to watch that, Lorium. If you have a heart problem, if you're taking beta blockers, do not, I repeat, do not drink tonic water with quinine. Don't do it. Okay, it can cause an arrhythmia and a blood clot. That your blood, you can throw a blood clot. So only if a doctor says you're okay to do it. Okay. Now, if you're fine, if you're a healthy person and you're not on any heart medication, then sure, they take all. Tonic water tastes like ginger ale. Okay, but this too will come out. It will come out, and they're just, that Trump is just letting the rope be fed out as they continually hang themselves. That's what's happening. So, believe it or not, now this cocktail that they came up with is proven to be a cure in most people. Some people, no. Like everything, everybody has problems with some drugs, but the side effects, they can handle them with other drugs. So they have a way of defeating this. Okay, it will be defeated, and we are going to be a V, as I said before. It'll be a V. Okay, and they're going to have a way of dealing with this. Okay, so you're going to have a really great summer, and it'll be really good. But right now, we're trying to raise money. Thank you, Janice. We're trying to raise money for these medical workers. You can consider them soldiers that are getting people well, but are dealing with, it's just the way it is. For every 10 people that get well, they're losing 3. Okay. So it's something to consider. It's taking an emotional toll on these people. So that's why we're doing this. Whatchamacallit did, I think I posted a body language on that doctor and on the other one. And that's pretty good to watch body language on them. It'll tell you something that's going on. But, a lot of you people suffer from, and it's the reason why, all the G's, 5G on down is creating such havoc on your immune systems and havoc on your bodies, is because we live in it, and you're programmed. You should be using, when you can, use a wired device, a wired computer. Period. Don't use your phone like you guys been using your phones like nuts. Don't do it. Use your phones for the bare minimum. Emails, some text stuff, phone calls, put it away. Limit it. You can even set the timer. Limit it to an hour a day maximum. All right? Maximum. Night. Shut it off. Okay? You want to do this. It's all a matter of exposure, and it's the duration of that exposure. The fear porn wants you to think of one thing. No, this stuff's been bad since it was made. Okay. All you've got is your phone. Josie, you made a huge mistake. Get something else. You got to get something. You can't No. Yeah, if you knew what I knew, what you're being exposed to on a regular basis, it's all about duration. Not with this Congress. Has to be in the next Congress, and only if you guys vote and give him the Senate with a 60% majority and the House with a 60% majority. Can he only do what he needs to do? What does he need to do? A lot of stuff, a lot of infrastructure. When he says infrastructure, he's talking about that. He wants to put us into the 21st century. He wants to harness geothermal electric power in Yellowstone. He wants to set up the next Hoover Dam. He wants to put together and install these lifters throughout the country where all of our old reactors were, and then more. He wants to do so much, but he can't do it with this Congress that wants all this crap. Okay? Bluetooth headsets are fine. The 900 megahertz, not going to hurt you. They're like milliwatts. All right? Not gonna hurt you. Yeah, I know you can't use a hardwired headset. I used to love my hardwired. I still have my phone. Still has an ear jack thing. But I use wireless. Just one piece. I just use a wireless ear thing, and then when I'm in the car, I have a system hooked up to my my sound system. So I don't want the phone rings, it goes to that, stops music, radio, whatever. But most of the time I leave this in the car. Okay. But I haven't been, I started up the cars yesterday just to start them up. It's very bad for the cars to sit and not drive them. But I hate it. I have 6 lines of wired. Very important. He's got Janice. He's got no control over the states that are controlled by the Dems. He never had. Okay. He can only do so much. They're going to take credit for the economy. They're going to take credit when this economy bounces back. They're going to take credit for everything. Cuomo created most of the deaths that are here. The death toll did not need to be this high. Okay. Didn't. He specifically, it's racist when Trump, now him on the record, all these other guys are on the record. When Trump put all these things down and said no illegals and close the borders and get these illegal. What did these government? Nowhere sanctuary state. Nowhere this. I'm going to release the films. I'm going to do this. We're fish in a barrel here on Long Island. Okay, do you think the media is telling you the truth of what's really going on? Okay. No. Better than Bluetooth speakers. You can get better than Bluetooth is they make a product that communicates through the wires of your house, your AC wiring. So it sends the transmission through the wiring of your house. It piggybacks it. So that's better than Bluetooth. I don't know who makes it. Because the other thing works on Wi-Fi. So it's not Bluetooth, it's Wi-Fi. Bluetooth is only 30 feet maximum. Wi-Fi is 300 feet. It's going to take less than that because it's something that I know. But the thing is that, and people will know, but people have to see before anything is going to progress. Okay, they have to see for themselves, and they have to verify that it's not photoshopped or whatnot, stuff like that. There's going to be people, no matter what they see, they ain't going to believe it. Okay, the diehards, the ones that are doing the evil, but also the ones that are dieharded to it. So, but the best thing for you to what a sound system, Josie, is to get a stereo system, a good one, an Apple TV, okay, and a Cat 5 cable, the back of that Apple TV to your router, wherever that is. And then it'll feed on a media server. You could just have a computer downstairs running iTunes or whatever in your media. Or you can just, with the Cat 5 opened up to the internet, it can feed off your music library. That's what I do. So it'll goes into my media server. So that means any music that I write or anything that I do or anything my friend does, or whether it's published on CD or not, it still plays. That's in the library. Okay. And it goes through that into, I use just the sound system on the speakers that are on the TV set, but I do have a really nice Luxman sound system downstairs, which I'm going to set up. That's a tube system. Really expensive. They don't make it anymore. The purest amp in the world is a tube amp. Okay. You know, solid state, it just doesn't have the power to signal to noise ratio that a tube does. It just can't do it because speakers are just not that efficient. You know, they're electronically mechanical. There's a magnet in them and everything else. I could go in hours on this because I was doing that field for 30 years. Yes, Rick, tribunals come forth and they start with like what it was with Auschwitz. Okay. Now these celebrities, they know the score because they've been part of it. And they're all in a panic. And then some of them are just so narcissistic, they just, you know, they're all having their YouTube channels and look at me. And when they donate tremendous amounts of money, oh, I'm donating this. I need to tell you I'm donating this. I need to Only reason why I'm telling you is because I'm trying to raise money. Okay? I've donated to a lot of things. St. John's, everything else, you know, St. Jude. You know, I donate. That's why I donate. I mean, the ultimate justice, dear, is not that can be done here on earth. It's the eradication of them and the ultimate thing that God's going to do. Right? And as, you know, well, it's never going to be swift enough because that would mean now. Okay, so there are stages that have to happen. You have to stop all this evil from happening throughout the world. That's the first thing you have to stop. and this is affecting children. So you have to stop this evil. Okay. You got to stop it. Okay. That's the first thing. Then you got to rescue. Okay. You got to save those people's lives. The next thing you have to do is that you have to arrest those people. But in order to do it, because they have a lot of expensive lawyers, every single I and every single T has to be dotted and crossed. And you have to do a media campaign and show people why their beloved people, they're not going to be beloved after you see what they've been doing. But you're not going to believe it. There's going to be some on my channel right now. No way, Bob. No way. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. You're going to have a really hard time seeing this stuff, okay? You're going to have to pray about it, but you have a hard time. You're not going to believe the evil. That's the tip of the iceberg, folks. I already told you about that. And by their actions, you will know them, by their fruits. Okay? They can't hide. Okay? There is no hiding. The swine flu was part of it. Okay? But that's the H1N1. And as you could see, 17,000 people died in this country. And they were praising Obama. And if you turn around and look at the situation, are they no, okay, you're talking about clones biologically, or people made up to look like them surgically and act like them, like body doubles? The latter, yes. The other, probably for body parts. I mean, you don't have 19, and who knows if that's real, okay? I mean, I know of at least 19. David Rockefeller, look at how many organ transplants the guy had. Where did he get all those organs from when other people die on a waiting list? Because they have to be matched and everything else. You know? Just saying. No, it's not a severe flu. No. No, most flus are bird orientated. Okay, believe it or not, it's a totally different type of virus. Okay, is it an RNA based virus? Yes. Okay, but it's not this coronavirus that has all these spikes on it. This specific virus, I have documented scientific evidence that it was weaponized and made more viral, more harder to kill. Okay? No. Pneumonia is caused by the immune ketone effect, which is, and it happens to people worse if you have high blood pressure, because the blood on the other side of the alveolar cell wall is on a higher pressure. Okay. That's not always true, Bill. No. It's a bioweapon. Yes. Think about it. Okay. If you have an R naught of 4.1, and this was released upon the public out of natural things in the past, Okay, because these coronaviruses have been around for eons. Okay, you would have wiped out humankind. Period. Everybody, because they don't have a herd response. Okay, to this, not at all, none. So think about that. So you're saying that this thing mutated so perfectly that is this bad. Okay. There's an agenda behind it. The H1N1 was taking out children. And you didn't see the media have a conniption about it and rake Obama over it. And yet, look at all the people that died. Yes, it's a fact, Rick, that it was first souped up by our own CDC in Atlanta, and then was taken to Grant in 2010 and further weaponized in University of North Carolina. Okay. Why? Because they wanted to make this thing to try to make who knows what insanity runs through an insane person like that does this kind of work, using their brilliance for whatever. I personally think it was a weapon from as soon as they modified it. Okay, personally. And then, of course, the Chinese have to do it. So they took it and they made it worse. So all of a sudden, they all have a really bad thing. Like I said before, there were this madness went on in the 60s. To 68, there was a treaty that was signed to stop it. But they have chemical agents, nerve agents, where if you just get a drop on your skin from an eyedropper, it'll kill you in 30 seconds. You'll die. I'm not kidding. Okay? And they made millions of gallons of this stuff. I mean, it's just pure evil to think that somebody's going to do that. It's crazy. COVID 17 and 19. 17 was specifically designed, it only works with body fluids, and it's more lethal in some respects, and it only spreads through blood basically. And you can see that there is an arsenal that they have, okay, that the players at this insane game used. And so they tainted the adrenochrome with COVID-17. Okay. Now, when you're going to be tested with antibodies, it's that marker. They're gonna see the genetic marker in the the stuff. So they're gonna know if you had 19 or 17. If you had 17, you had a problem because the only way you can get 17. Yeah. Now, again, on my page, I've documented this. Okay, this is documented. I don't know. I think that angel fly. I'm not up on the swine flu, but the reality is that you with day and age today of air travel, okay, people traveling, it's very difficult to put an origin on anything. I mean, we said the Spanish flu. Everybody's like originated in Spain. No. The first outbreaks of it were in Spain, but the actual flu that it was the strain of it, whatever, is actually closer to a border with France, a village. I'm being patient zero. They did work on this. So what does that mean? Yeah, there's an agenda there. So, I mean, think about it. The guy, he's not a doctor. He doesn't have a PhD in anything, and then he's on all these mass media shows, being asked about pandemics and asked about vaccinations and asked about you should ask him about database management systems and how they got their Windows originating when Apple didn't even have their so-called Windows. They had to buy it and license it from Xerox. It's called Altos. Every single Mac computer since has paid a licensing fee for this operating system, this so-called GUI. Okay, it's a genetic, this that you're seeing. Okay, they paid. Bill Gates didn't have to pay, but yet what's not known is that Steve Jobs put in Macs, and he wanted them to write applications such as Word and things like that. Word first came out for the Mac. Didn't come out for the PC right away. Came out for the Mac first. Then when Steve caught wind of what he was doing and saw what he was doing, now, what did Bill do? Bill was smarter. What did he do? He had better lawyers. You don't have to be right. You can be. It's who has the better lawyers. That's what happens today in today's society. Believe me, I know. Okay, it's the lawyers. And if you have a better lawyer, there it is. In Gates's in the operating system, okay, that you guys lease or whatever operating system I'm running on, I don't even know anymore. The Apple just keeps changing it. They leave in the Microsoft thing. They leave a Mac truck hole for getting the so-called online support and also the data of what you're doing and everything else, and their upgrades, no matter what. So if you're running Windows and there's an upgrade, it says, well, we're going to do this, and you have no choice, and we're going to do it. And you might have a whole bunch of work and a report to get out. It doesn't matter. Your computer's down for doing this upgrade. With Macintosh, you have a choice. They want you to do the upgrade, but you don't have to. You have to put in a specific code for it to be done. So people like myself, I don't want that upgrade to be done on certain machines because I use a certain amount of stuff on them that I know that's not going to be compatible on, and it's going to have issues on further other operating systems because of the hardware configuration and everything. I won't get into it. So that's why you need a VPN. If you have a VPN, then they can't get into your computer because you're going through another computer to get out. And all your transpons, whatever, is going through that other computer. And so it can't get back in. Now, you could still click on a stupid attachment in your email, and you can still infect your machine that way, which happens all the time. You can click on a picture. You can click on something. And it could be from a person, a friend, whatever. And you can think, oh, it's from a friend. Their machine could be infected, and thus that infection be piggybacked on that image. I've seen it happen. The only way you can really protect yourself from these stupid computer viruses is backing up your machine and keeping a backup separate from your computer so that if worse comes to worse, you do get a virus, you can simply wipe the thing out and restore your machine from the backup. I'm sure the scarf is comms of some kind to the deep state. What she's wearing, the colors, things. I'm sure what the doctor is saying is comms to the deep state. And the thing is, I'm sure that the president knows this also. Okay. So that's why he's having these people there, because they just don't understand that it's telling the good guys things as well. Believe me, if it didn't tell them anything, if it wasn't good for President Trump to have them there for optics or whatever, They'd be gone. Poof. Goodbye. Have a nice day. He doesn't care. He gets rid of them. What irritates the crap out of me is the way the media attacks him day in and day out with such disrespect. It's just unbelievable. You look at the difference between the Cuomo stuff and then the Trump stuff later on. They don't even, most of the stations don't even carry Trump's broadcast. Don't carry it. I do not play 4D chess. I wish I did. My father used to play, believe it or not. I play regular chess and try to survive at that. Believe me, I mean, my game is so poor now. I need help. No question about it. You just miss. You miss having that, those extra 50 points, believe me. But I can't say that. I'm getting better every day in every way. Every day in every way. Okay, so I got to keep saying that. Oh, the sun feels so good. So can we please raise more money? More money means more pizzas. Everything is with chess. Everything is about the center of the board. Whoever controls the center controls the power of the board. It's position. It's not pieces. Okay. Trump is a grandmaster genius. No question about it. His son is an actual grandmaster. I mean, Trump is an extremely good chess player himself. John also went and was tutored in Moscow. Okay. Took on some really good chess players. Okay, big time. The D5, I went to a whole video on this, was more than just. That's what it is with all the Q comps. They're just multiple layers. It's just unbelievable. Okay. Yeah, well, this is your time of the year. And unfortunately, you're not capturing all that water. Your governors over the past 40 years have not built a new dam or done anything for your water retention infrastructure at all, ever. So, yeah. And they use to maintain your dams. So you're throwing away all this water that's coming down. And then when you need it, when you have a drought, you don't have it. I say again, get out of California. Get out. Please get out. Okay? If you don't believe me, watch Dutch Sons, okay? Watch anybody. Get out. Tilly True, thank you so much. Your health workers appreciate it. They really do. I don't think it's going to work. I do not think you have that kind of time. I'm going to tell you right now, you got to get out of there, and your children got to get out of there. Just saying. Unfortunately, what's going to happen is there is a fault line, okay? And it's happened before. It's going to go right off the coast about, I guess anywhere between 115 miles, depending in some areas. And you're going to have a tidal wave that's going to just come in and just wipe everything out. Or there's and then, the radioactivity from Fukushima, you don't want to know how bad it is. It's really bad there. So, just saying. Don't say I didn't tell you so. There is no if you can leave. It's a matter of you got to leave. And this isn't an if. Okay? This is not an if. It's a when. It's like a no-brainer. It's like, say you lived in, Kansas or, the Tornado Alley. I see these people building these structures made out of wood. And man, say, would you think I'd build a house like that there? No way, man. I have 2/3 of my house on the ground, and the top part will be some kind of aerodynamic dome or something. Be set up to be tornado proof. So that if a tornado did come right over an F5 right over my house, no problemo. That's what you have to do in specific places. Okay. When I redid this whole back end, I put hurricane straps on the house. Okay. Why? Because we have Sandy came through here. She wreaked havoc. Okay. The next thing I have to do is I got to put these films up. They got this new, but I think I'm going to change these doors, these French doors. But once I do, I'm going to have this new ballistics, and supposedly a 2x4 can come at it at over 150 miles an hour. It won't bust through. It'll crack the glass, but it won't break. Won't break through. You got to do that. Okay, I'm high enough. I don't have to worry about flooding, but I still put a Venus drain all the way around my house. I have two standby generators. Okay. Unfortunately, I wish I was wrong, but I'm just not. And the scientific evidence is there. I mean, you look at the geologics and you dig down layers, and it's a whole bunch of beach sand. Oh, beach sand is about this thick. Where did that come from? It's happened before. It's going to happen again. It's cyclical there. Okay, it's just what happens. The Indians talk about it. What do you think they were so nomadic? These people are like, there's some pretty funky weather here, and we want our buffalo, and it's no big deal if we lose a teepee because of this tornado takes it. They talk all about it. They've been here for who knows, right? Just saying. It's just like Japan. They had the whole Fukushima thing. Then there was a BBC guy, and he's got the camera, and he's like, and they're about 900 meters up from the shore, and there's a sign there. It's in Japanese. The guy says, "What does that say?" It says, "Build no lower." Build no lower than this point. You're not supposed to build anything below this point because they've had these tidal waves before, tsunami, and they came up to this point. So they said, don't build below this point. But General Electric couldn't build their Mark III and Mark IV reactors up that high because they have to transport millions of gallons of water back and forth, and it wouldn't have paid. Okay, their margin is so thin because those reactors work at like a 0.5% efficiency. Okay, it's ridiculous. Okay, but the reason why Japan has so many of them is because they have no oil and they have to bring everything in it, and they do a cost benefit analysis. We've got all this production, we need the power, so we're gonna sign, like Fusk, a deal with the devil, essentially, right? Thank you, everybody, for all the money you've donated here today. I appreciate it. I'm looking at the comments because I'm not seeing any. Are you guys having any problems with your chat? Okay, here we go. COVID. These forces, these tectonic forces, these viruses, these things. This virus originated. Technically, I got to tell you something. By technical definition, a virus is not alive. It's essentially just information. And essentially, it hijacks the RNA engine in your cells and reproduces itself. But everybody says it's not alive. Okay. Bacteria is alive. Okay. So often with these people with pneumonia, what comes in is another stage of infection, which is bacteria. That's what's been killing them in these hospitals, the pneumonia and the bacteria and the whatnot. Okay. It overwhelms the system. So it's not so much the virus. The virus is setting up the circumstances where your own immune system is killing you. Okay. And think about this. A virus this lethal is not really conducive to itself in its procreation, because if it's this lethal, it'll kill everybody. It can't reproduce itself other than human beings. Now they say cats get it. Cat is Bronx tigers got it. Point is, if it's this lethal, it's going to kill everything. So then that doesn't do any good for it, because it can't live outside the body for an extended period of time. Above 85 degrees now, they said, and 45 to 85 is I shouldn't say live. The information, which is encapsulated, okay, without being destroyed, okay, remains intact. And then, okay. So it's literally the same way viruses infect computers with information and hijack the code and the kernel. That's what this does, except it hijacks your cell. Same way. Your virus that is attacking your computer is attacking the processing of your computer system, and then it's putting itself on your mails, it's putting itself on your data, putting itself on your picture. All kinds of things that it's doing, including spying on your data and its pictures and sending it nefarious to wherever people are in Slavic countries or China or wherever. Okay. So it works the same way. It's really the same modus operandi. I'm not a doctor, Laurie Nelson. So I only know how the virus specifically works. I have a doctor that I posted on my Patreon page that did a very good and accurate presentation of exactly how this virus kills, why it's killing specific people of certain types, and why it's killing young people. Okay, it's all a matter of the viral load and the time that it overwhelms the body's immune system. Well, it doesn't have, it's just the outside shell. It does not have the RNA. The instructions are not in it. Okay. So they state it's a dead virus. They're all dead, but this one, the instructions are not in it. Now, they say that Bill Gates puts nefarious things in there. Okay. I'm not saying that he doesn't. And I'm also not saying that viruses are not the cause of a lot of cancers. They are. Okay. And I'm not saying that these vaccines are all good. They're not. But what I'm saying is that I myself am going to have to get this certified by President Trump's vaccine, because I am a dead man if I get this virus. I'm dead. Period. It's going to overwhelm my system, and I can only hope that the treatments will save my life, but I can't really count on that. If you look at the geology, the Earth magnetic field is flipping. Do you know in the Bible where it says that the earth stood in the sky for 3 hours or something like that effect? Well, guess what, guys? That actually did really happen. Okay. Turns out that it's physically, people don't realize that this crust that we're on is on a liquid core. Okay. And that I did a video on this and I showed it where in a zero G environment, which we're living in essentially, that liquid core is that way. This thing goes into a flip mode and just flips every amount of time. Okay. And then flips again. We're flipping. Our magnetic field is going down exponentially. Okay. And they're headed for a spot on the equator on opposite sides of the planet. They both are, the North and South Pole. In my Patreon page, I have posted videos on this. This really, really is happening right now. Okay. It's been happening since 1859. That's when it started to happen. When the Carrington event happened, okay, that huge coronal mass ejection from the sun, it started this whole thing happening. Why? Why did it start happening? It happened because the galactic has a ripple wave in itself, okay, a spiral ripple wave of magnetic energy, like a wave that's coming out from the central core of the galaxy. As our solar system goes through this, okay, it changes the polarity, and this upheaval is happening not only to the Earth, it's happening to all other planets in our solar system. Go look at the facts, you can see it. So these greens say, and these global warmers say that it's from, Ford and there is no Ford and Toyota on Mars. There's no Ford and Toyota on Jupiter. The red spot is going bye-bye. Okay. Why? Okay. See? What is affecting, you see, all the planets? Okay. Now, if we become a type 1 civilization, we will have the 3 technologies to stop this from harming the earth. Okay. We're the first, as far as I know of, the first species on this planet to be able to stop our own extinction. We can stop it by working together, okay, and doing this the right way. God does not want us to die. He wants us to succeed. He wants us to thrive. He put a Lake Erie of water on the moon for a reason. Okay, it's in a perfect location. Okay, he wants us to go to the moon. He wants us to go and mine the asteroid belts. He wants us to go to Jupiter. He wants us to thrive. Satan does not want us to succeed. He wants us wiped out, period. He hates us big time. And what does hate do? Okay. Now you can see what hate does because the president is seeing it every single day that he goes on the air. You see hate aimed right at him in questions and the ways they phrase it and everything that they do. Hate. TDS to the max. Hate. Okay. It's a very destructive, very bad thing. Okay. It is. And the mentality of these insane people, they had a poll. 65% of them said that they'd rather see an asteroid the size of the moon hit the earth and wipe it out forever than have Trump win a re-election. Do you realize what they just said? Do you think that's any kind of logical, rational thinking of any way, shape, or form? Okay. You normally would take somebody with that thinking and put them in a padded cell. Just saying. You're not nuts. Be patient. I don't think you're nuts. So everyone does not think you're nuts. Okay? It's nuts to kill 17 billion unborn children. That's nuts. Just saying. Exactly, Gib. Romans 8:28. So guess what? It will come out. Okay, just like, look, they never anticipated that she would lose. The Nazis never thought when they were doing this atrocities that they were going to lose. They were talking about a 5,000-year reign of the Reich. Okay. Look at the unbelievable making lampshades out of human skin, collecting all the gold in everybody's teeth, the shoes, the glasses, cataloging all of it, burning the bodies. They had these ovens going day and night for years. I mean, the atrocities that have been committed by human beings on other human beings, on other animals, on other things, on other life throughout time has been just unbelievably bad. Okay? And if you don't think we're at Sodom and Gomorrah, look what they're doing. Okay? I have hate speech, in my opinion, and I have to say alleged because I can't even keep track of it. 68 sexes, allegedly. I don't know. California says there's more. Okay? If I look at scientific things and I boil it down to a scientific fact, and I want to be able to tell the difference in things, I can specifically factual see why hydrogen is called hydrogen and helium is called helium. It has one proton and this one has two protons. Okay, I get that. Okay. That's like saying I feel light today, so I'm going to, you know what? The heck with my diet and everything. Gonna call my wife. Yeah, we're gonna have a really big steak and cake and all kinds of stuff. Is that reality? No. Okay. Do I weigh 225 pounds? No. Okay. Have I gained weight since this whole thing started? Yep. Okay. Gained 10 pounds. Why? I can't walk my 35 minutes a day. Because if I see anybody and I know they've been sneezing or whatever, I mean, I'm like paranoid. And I always was leery about if dogs could carry this thing. So I didn't want my dog to go anywhere near a little dog. And now I'm right. Okay. I mean, so there it is. I try to walk around my pool and walk around and play with the dog in the backyard. I have to do more of the Bullflex. I hate that stupid machine. Hate it. But I got to do more of it. It's what it is. Am I always going to be? No. I'm convinced I have to lose weight. That's my reality. Okay. Do these people have a grasp on reality where they have fluid sex? What the heck is that? Fluid sex? No. In my opinion, I have a First Amendment to this. That would be considered mental. I mean, if I go around and I go to a kid goes to ride, but the kid he's only, he's a dwarf. He's 21 years old, but he's a dwarf. So he's underneath their height limit for the specific ride. Because he says he feels 6 feet tall, does that mean that you let him in there? Well, I know you're a dwarf. I know you don't meet the thing, but because you feel this, we're going to let you in. Oh, gosh, you just flew out of the ride and you're you know, you're dead. Just saying, folks, okay? This is the evil that's among us, because it's not enough that there's men, women, African American, whatever race, color, doesn't matter, okay? A guy by the name of Charles Sam Johnson, okay, very good friend of my father's, who's like a father to me. He was an African American. He was the first black guy to be roomed with my father, white guy, okay, in 1950 in the Navy. And he told me, once a 500-pounder goes off, he said, son, there is no white, there's no black, there's no yellow, there's no orange. It's all red and burnt flesh, and it's all bad. We all have the same blood. We all breathe the same air. That's what Martin Luther King was all about. Okay? He was a reverend. He was a Christian. He was a brother. Brothers and sisters means our Father who art in heaven. Our Father. What does that make us? Makes us brothers and sisters. That's what it means. Doesn't matter. Okay? The so-called skin is just an adoption from our ancestors from where they had dropped geographically. So my people came from an area where they're above the 40 latitude. So if you're wasting energy on making proteins that block the sun, that's bad, because you're not going to have enough vitamin D. But if you're this white and you're in the tropics, you're going to die. Okay? Because you're going to get too much UVA and UVB damage and you're going to die. If I don't have kinky hair, black kinky hair that creates a tremendous amount of surface area, insulation to my head, if I'm in the tropics, I'm going to have a heat stroke. I'm going to die. All those same things work reversed if you're north of the 40. There's less fat in a black man's skin, okay, or Latino, whatever, because they don't need it. But where are they if they go north? There's Eskimos. They have specific brown fat in their eyelids. Check it out. Look it up. My eyes would be frozen. The black guy's eyes, an Indian guy, a Chinese guy. We're all blind in 70 seconds. It's minus 80 degrees out. We don't have goggles on. Not this Eskimo. No, he's got brown fat in his eyelids, and it's keeping his coronas from freezing. He can eat a polar bear's liver and not die from vitamin A. If I eat that same liver, I'm a dead man. I'm dead. So you got to understand, we're all brothers and sisters. We're all God's creation. All of us. Okay? We're all God's creation. So some people might not be saved, but it's our job as people who are saved to try to show them that love of the Lord is the way to your salvation, is the way to save them. Okay? That's what you want to do. It doesn't mean that you bare your chest and let some person shoot you. No. Doesn't mean this. Because if he does that to you, then you can't save somebody else. Okay? I give that person a chance. They open that door in my bedroom, it's over. They no longer are God's creation because they're trying to kill God's creation. It's simple. But I'm not going to kill them over a TV set. Not going to happen. That's how I feel. We're all in this war together. This stupid virus should show us we're all in a war. Okay. And the president talks about an invisible war. Okay. He's not just talking about this virus. Okay. There's more than this dimension. Okay. Just click the dollar sign. You could donate whatever you guys donate here. I'm gonna, after I finish this video, I'm gonna total it up and call up the pizza guy at Domino's and make an order. Okay. And you can, in my description, you can call them up direct. Okay. But the problem is, we do it together, I'll get a better discount because I'll be banking a bigger order. I can span it out for more days so that the more people are fed. Debbie, what? I don't understand. There's a dollar sign, right by where you type. It says chat publicly as so and so. It's got your name. There's a dollar sign right on the right of it. Okay. Oh, dimensions. Okay. You actually think that there's just these 3 dimensions or 4th with time? No. Okay. But that's a whole nother. I have done videos on this, and I tried to explain stuff in dimensions that you can possibly understand. But you have to understand that these devils, aliens, serpents, whatever you want to call it, okay, they come in and out of our reality from another place, okay? And some of them are called here by rituals that are held by Satanists that possess people, okay? This is all. It's all. I did a video, my Patreon page. I posted a video. It's a second one, and there's also stuff about November Zebra, and that talks about ancient civilizations and things. And then I did another video of exactly what this place is and how it works. Yeah, I mean, there's literally been a war going on for a long period of time. Okay. We have been slaves on and off throughout our existence here. But technically, we've been the slaves in this country for 105 years. We're now no longer a slave. People do not understand this. They will, but we are free. Do these people want us to be free? No, they don't want us to be free, but we're free. He's freeing and stopping something else. Okay. Essentially, these things, these beings, look at us like you would look at a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's the best way to put it. They feed off your fear. The more they can make you afraid, the better and more energy they get from that fear, as well as whatever. Okay. It's true. Now, there's evidence of this throughout time. Okay. If you look in some of the Syrian, stone hieroglyphics thing, you'll see, the same UFOs that they showed you today and everything else. Okay. There's pyramids on every single continent. There's pyramids on all the planets, at least the ones that we can visit. Okay. I'm sure there's more. All right. But the reality is that, like I said, this place is a test. It's not only a test for us. Okay. Now, these we'll call them angels, okay, who fell, you can call them that, they had a choice. They did not have to join up with Lucifer. Lucifer had a choice. He did not have to do this, but he did it. He's like, let's go get him. He only created everything in us, but we're gonna do it. So when you think about these people, how stupid they are, and the hate that's just, they're filled with such hate, it just blinds them from everything. Okay, any kind of anything, it blinds them from it. You're seeing the root of it from the beginning. Okay. If you're saved, they cannot touch you. You have the power. Okay. You don't understand this, but it's true. Now, the power is not coming from you. The power is coming from the Holy Spirit and the Lord in you. Okay. But that saves you in more ways than one. Now, if you don't believe me, aren't there plenty of times in your life when it's presented to you, no offense or buts, right road and left road all the time? It's a right way to do it, and say, I get, okay. Then there's times when you feel something. Okay. So, no, you have to say, get thee hence, Satan, in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. He commands you. That's where it works. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean, oh, and I do this all the time. I think I posted a a spam call. Yeah. So you ever get these calls with some guy says, and I use all Macs here, so I have no Windows stuff. And he's, oh yeah, from Microsoft, and you have to key a certain key and stuff. I'm going through this whole thing, and I'm saying, and again, I'm really hooked into it. I say, okay, well, I'm going to tell you something right now. May everything that you do and mean for me or others, and you do upon others, be visited you sevenfold by the power of the Lord Jesus Christ. And I say that on to you. Now, is that a bad thing to say to you? No, it is not. Sevenfold. Susan Hall, you're going to get sevenfold from what you're doing today. Oh, these people have a... Why did you say that? Don't say that. What? Yeah, because they're doing bad stuff. Okay? You don't mind that. And if I say in Jesus Christ, you don't mind that either. Think about it. I'm telling you, everybody who hear, everything you do to others, visit upon you sevenfold. In the name of Lord Jesus Christ. Isn't that gracious? You just say that next time you get a call that you think good or bad. If it's good for you, they'll thank you. If it's bad, watch what happens. How do I say? Oh, and your family and everything. That's right, your family. Oh, they go nuts. They can't stand it. Something like, Christ is holding up his hand and casting that shadow. Just saying. Just saying. And how they attacked this guy, the pillow guy. Okay. He says, Jesus Christ, they go absolutely ape crap. Okay. He says, read the Bible, Jesus Christ, something like this, and how thankful we are. And they show, and I put a post on the thing, videos of these poor nurses and healthcare workers on their knees praying. Okay. Just to give the Lord to give them strength for another day to go into battle. That's what we're doing here today. We're answering those prayers. We're raising money to get them food to make them feel better. Comfort food. Okay? They need comfort food, trust me. And nothing like a good pizza. Okay? And also it has antiviral properties to it. I'm going to tell the guy less extra garlic on all of them because garlic fights the viruses. Specifically, it does. Okay? But yeah, in the future, we're going to be using a design the bacteria. And there's a company, I posted it on my Patreon page. That's what they do. They specifically, they take a bacteria, they design it, and what it does is it goes and eats all these viruses. That's what it does. And when it runs out, it dies. And they've had phenomenal success with this unbelievable stuff. They've had, I'm telling you right now, they're going to cure AIDS. They're going to cure cancer. That's who's going to cure it. These guys doing this kind of work. It was started by that Feinstein guy. He was in the World Trade Center too, and he died. All his research died with it. But there's work papers that he filed in Nature and also in the New England Journal and other papers that didn't die. So it put the thing into these guys' heads that this is the way to do it. We've had a very good track record of using bacteria to do our work. We're using bacteria to make human insulin. We're using bacteria to raise our bread. Okay, you're using bacteria to do all kinds of stuff. Different forms, obviously. Okay, but you're living with good bacteria in your gut. Matter of fact, 90% of the viruses that you're encountered, okay, on a daily basis, are annihilated by the bacteria that's on your skin. A lot of them are also annihilated by the bacteria that's in your gut. So that stuff in there and the stuff here, it's good stuff. So antibacterial soap, very bad. Just wash your hands with regular soap. And the temperature of the water doesn't have to be whatever. The soap breaks down the surface tension of the water. The water actually does the cleaning. Okay. Yes. They've done because essentially what is a white blood cell? Okay. So they've been doing treatments with cancers, inoperable cancers, where they take the person's immune system, their blood cells, and their white blood cells, and they tune them up to specifically go after this specific cancer, and then they clone them. Believe it or not, they clone them, and then the person sits there and gets IV bag of their own cloned white blood cells. And that is a experimental trial that's going on right now. Okay. So that's really happening. And so you're going to see with a photon computer. Okay. Photon computer is going to do so much for the civilization. It's going to, first of all, it's going to make you'll be able to simulate all kinds of designs, all kinds of anything from an electric motor to any kind of engine to any kind of aircraft to any kind of disease and cures for that disease. Okay. Ask Bob. What? Ask me what? My name is Ruth equals true. Teresa K. Hurst. What did the Pope give up and why? If I'm going to tell you something, in my opinion, if the Antichrist was here, he'd either be Bill Gates or the Pope. Just saying. That's how much I trust either of them. He is not a holy man. Look what he's done to people who did certain things. You saw that hate and that vitriol come out in him. No. Father King that I had when I was a kid, that was a holy man. Okay? Just saying. That's my opinion. And I've seen a lot of evidence to that effect. Yes, Janine, God bless him. Everybody say a prayer for Janine. 2 people agree with me. That'll really help Janine's brother. In Jesus' name. Amen. I don't see any difference between the Catholic Church and they say Hedron or something like that when Christ was alive. Same thing. Out for power. Okay. Power and money. Period. I'm sure that doesn't, I'm not saying that about all priests and all sisters. I'm saying that about the top. Do you think that they didn't know that this was going on, this molestation and everything else for such a period of time? They have the largest collection of pornography in the world in the Vatican. Did you know this? No. When I was raised a Catholic when I was a kid, and I was a Catholic until I was working at First United Fund, and I saw that they were rolling over $1.5 trillion, and they didn't give a damn about anything about unbelievable. Okay, and God said you can't serve both. Okay. Now, what was he saying when he said to that guy, to give up all your possessions and everything and then follow me? And then he said, when he couldn't do it, then he said, it's easier to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Okay. Now, was he talking about the rich? No, he was talking about a person who's just caring about themselves. Okay. In order for a camel to go through the eye of the needle, they had to be totally unburdened. Nothing, no saddle, no anything could go through this eye. It's a very specific thing. Okay. If you understand what money is a fuel. Period. No more, no less. Okay. If I was sitting on 195, who knows how much? Let's just say it's 100 trillion, but whatever. 100 trillion gold. Do you think I'd be just? Do you realize I'd have my own space agency? I'd have my own. I'd have we would have eons ago gotten those three type 1 technologies. Okay. Eons. Okay. Eons ago. There'd be an inhabitable mall surrounding the earth. Okay, with all kinds of bells and whistles and everything else, and ways to defend the earth. 36 satellites around the orbit of Venus to be defending the earth from mining the asteroid field. Please, $100 trillion. So, and just think that investment of that technology and how much more logarithmically, exponentially would go. The $45 billion that went to the space program to grow that in 9 years, that resulted in a $5 trillion economy of stuff. Okay, for everything from every biomedical thing to, I mean, just it's ridiculous amount of stuff for that small investment. Could you imagine investing the trillions of dollars that the Rothschilds have, or the billions of dollars that Bill Gates had at the time when he was at his peak, and what you could do with that? I mean, these people have no vision because they're evil. Just to go downstairs and look at it? Oh, I look at it. Or Bill Gates. So just to see how many zeros he's got? Ridiculous. It's not very visionary. Anyway, I'm going to stop this soon. And thank you very much for your donations. And I got to go. My dog is barking about something. And anyway, it was a pleasure. Everybody listening to my name, please be safe. I mean, not my name, my broadcast, my words, my speech. Please be safe. And may God protect you. In Jesus' name, amen.